Developing right now, the attorney for a State Department whistleblower is speaking out, suggesting his client is now the target of government intimidation. Former Inspector General investigator Aurelia Fidenison claims her ex-colleagues at State are trying to bully her into silence. This after she leaked evidence last week alleging that senior officials killed investigations into several sex scandals that were emerging under then-Secretary Hillary Clinton, including one involving a U.S. ambassador and alleged sexual encounters with minors. Kerry Schulman is the attorney for Aurelia Fidenison, and he's with me now. Kerry, good to see you. This is shocking if true. I mean, Aurelia Fidenison worked for the Inspector General's office within the State Department. Those are sort of the straight-laced investigators who, when there's trouble, they're supposed to be nonpartisan, they look into it, then they come out to the American public and say, this is what we found. State did this or it didn't do this. And she was on that team. What she found was that State was, according to her, covering up not only alleged criminal activity, but then it was trying to interfere with investigations into that criminal activity. And ultimately, State, she says, scrubbed her report, the report she and the others at the IG office were putting together that called attention to all this. They scrubbed it. She says that's what forced her to go public. Do I have it about right?
That's exactly right. And that's a very important point you just made, is that in addition to the underlying crimes, which weren't just 1, 2, 3, but it was well more than 8, in addition to that, what you have is a second crime, which is interfering with a federal law enforcement investigation. And that's the point the inspection team was trying to make in the report that got scrubbed, is that undue influence in interference with these investigations, federal investigations by political appointees and other senior ranking officials was going on. And that needed to be reported to Congress. And that required urgent and immediate attention in the inspection team's opinion.
Now, did she quit the IG's office at State Department in the wake of all this?
Well, she retired. She had been in diplomatic security as a law enforcement officer for over 26 years. And the last couple of years, she was assigned to the OIG's office, the Office of Inspector General, and on inspection teams.
Okay, and so after she leaves and she decides to blow the whistle because she sees the final report, which is scrubbed of all the bad stuff, you know, the really bad stuff that had been in the draft report, reporting how this happened and they were trying to cover it up and it was higher ups at State. She says, where is all that? Why is that not in the final report? She leaks it, and then what happens at her home?
Well, what happened is, as soon as the Office of Inspector General got wind of it, they sent 2 law enforcement officers from the investigations division to her house, and she was not home. They first approached her 20-year-old, then her 17-year-old, did not identify themselves, did not leave a card. The kids called her, let her know that there was law enforcement. They expressed that they would be back. They were not going away. They needed to see her that day. They wanted her cell phone. They wanted to know where she was. And that's when she hired my law firm.
So now she's alleging that they want her to shut up. They want to shut her up. And she says, look, I'm a whistleblower. But they're talking now, from the sound of it, about potentially prosecuting her, Kerry, as opposed to potentially prosecuting the people who allegedly frequented underage hookers and so on.
Yeah, they've got time to send 2 law enforcement officers out to her house to shut her up, but they didn't have time to, you know, investigate some of these crimes, apparently. You know, I spoke directly with the general counsel for the Office of Inspector General, and they said to me that if my client did not comply with their demands and return all the documents, don't keep any, do not disseminate them, that they would have a quote-unquote, no kidding, get-together with DOJ. And from a lawyer to me, that was a clear indication to me that it was a threat that they would pursue criminal charges if she did not comply with all of their demands. The problem is, in this country, our government's supposed to be transparent, and evidence of government misconduct. None of these are classified documents. Let's get that understood here. And so their privileges that they were alleging, their executive privileges, just didn't apply when there's evidence of gross government misconduct.
Yeah, this isn't
including felonies.
This isn't like the NSA leaker case. This is a woman who is charged with holding the State Department accountable, tried to do that, and when raising red flags about their cover-ups, is what she says, is now being intimidated. Carrie, we'll continue to follow this. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.